delighted to invite you all to a very topical discussion on IT growth in Kolkata. I'm very pleased to invite our moderator for this panel, Mr. Anuj Puri, Chairman, JLL India. As Chairman and Country Head, Anuj is responsible for the overall direction, strategy and growth of the premier real estate services company in India, JLL. He is among the most respected leaders in Indian real estate industry and an acknowledged expert on India's real estate opportunity, both within India and across the globe. The other speakers for the session are Mr. Alok Agarwal, CEO, Brookfield India Office Parks Limited. He manages the office business of Brookfield in India, which at present includes assets of rupees 60,000 million in 5 IT, ITS, SEZs across NCR and Kolkata. Alok has over 3 decades of experience in deal sourcing, evaluation, closing and asset management across asset classes and has played a principal role in investments across residential, commercial, warehousing and mixed-use developments. Sumit Anand is a global infrastructure and logistic leader from Genpact with over 24 years of experience in real estate, infrastructure and logistics. He is responsible for the formation of the real estate strategy, including cost management, facilities management, environmental practices, etc. Biswajit Ghosh is the head global real estate procurement of Cognizant Technology Solutions. Prior to this, he was a COO of a PE and real estate joint venture, which was coming out with a master planned integrated township in Jaipur, over 1,000 acres of land. And our last speaker, Suresh Menon, is Vice President and General Manager of the Eastern region of TCS. He heads TCS's activities across its centers in Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, and Guwahati. Suresh spent over 7 years as the CEO and Director on the board of Diligenta Limited, TCS's UK-based regulated subsidiary focusing on life and pensions insurance administration. I would now like to invite all the speakers of this panel onto the dais.
Hi, a very good morning. It was really nice to hear CP speak early this morning. He energized the crowd here, and there are a lot of inputs that we got, and in fact, a lot of questions that I thought would come out of this session. He was very eloquent, and he answered that proactively. So I'm delighted. A lot of the part, what I was going to cover in my session, has been very well covered by CP as a proactive speaker. Last night I came into Calcutta, and I thought that the city has gone through transformation, a very positive transformation. I mean, it's got a beautiful airport, you come through it, there are new flyovers that have now got constructed, the lights were beautiful, the city looked a lot more cleaner. And then I realized to myself that, it is the 3rd largest metropolis in India. It is the only state where you have got an IIT, you have got an IIM, you have an ISI in there. It's got a talent pool which produces about 550,000 people as capable talent in this part of the India. Low labor cost, a lot of availability of good quality infrastructure, good quality real estate that is there. Both Suresh, your company, and BG, your company, are very significant in Calcutta. I mean, TCS, I'm told, is the 2nd largest presence outside Chennai now in Calcutta, and likewise, BG, for you continue to grow in this city. And when you speak with PwC and some of the other global players, they have their global delivery center, including Ericsson, in Calcutta. Yet, on the other side, you see not many people wanting to get into this city. And that's really the point of our debate. What is it that we need to do to try and bring in more energy into Calcutta, given it has got so much of positivity on one side, and what is it that we need to do to make sure that the voice goes out in there to allow more corporates to look at it positively and more energy, more momentum to come into the IT sector within Calcutta. I've got very eclectic panel of speakers here who have been very well introduced, so I'll go straight into my first question, perhaps to you, Suresh. A little bit macro that I'll start with. And again, CP covered some part of it, but it's perhaps a little bit more direct. On the Indian outsourcing, do you think this phenomena of Indian outsourcing will continue the way that it has over the last decade and a half?
It's a very interesting. Am I audible? Yeah, I think it's a very interesting question. There, in my view, to sum it up, I think the outsourcing will continue. Whether it continues in the current shape and form, whether it has to adapt to what is going to come, yes, there is to be an adaptation that is constant. There will be other countries in the world who also offer niche propositions, but fundamental things to consider would be, nearshoring versus distance outsourcing, offshoring, merits, demerits of both, language capabilities, how crucial they are, scale of the organization being outsourced to, trying to market required to turn around the solution. All these will play a role. But I think India has a big opportunity because it has pluses in all these facets. And therefore, I think there is some opportunity to continue.
And just continuing with you, Suresh, what would you say will be the top 2 or 3 reasons for TCS's success in Calcutta and the continuing growth? Apart from you, of course.
We have about 35,000 people here in Calcutta.
35,000.
35,000 in Calcutta, spread across 18 odd locations. And it's been present since a long time now. And certain key verticals are focused primarily out of Calcutta. You call it utilities, you call it telecom, you call it publishing, you call it retail. Your focus area is in Calcutta. We do find enormous, abundantly available, very talented workforce. Very, very creative, that lends itself to innovation and so on, and therefore we and some of the other companies also have innovation labs centered out of Calcutta. We just provide a challenging problem or a solution and empower them, and I'm sure results will happen. I think people by and large, I found them very, very creative. I'm reasonably new to Calcutta. I've just come in about 10 months ago. My experience says that I found very, very intelligent, very creative people. Just have to harness that in the right direction and we will see results. And that is the primary reason how TCS also established where we are today.
BG, coming to you, and Suresh said is that they are very innovative, creative, intelligent people, which you are a Calcuttan, it is true. But the trouble is that these people don't want to stay in Calcutta. You find them everywhere else other than Calcutta. So what is it that we need to do to make sure that they remain in Calcutta?
I think talent is always a function of opportunities. So if the perception of opportunity is less over here, it will always migrate to places where there is more opportunities coming into place. So whether it's Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, so these are places which is perceived as having more opportunities. So talent will always flow that direction. Otherwise, the availability of talent like you said, I don't think any of the companies face challenges in the quality of the talent.
So it is true that talent is like water. It'll get attracted to where the opportunity is. But then what do we need to do to make sure that the talent retains in Calcutta?
So I think that couple of things in my mind is that, one is creating a perception of Calcutta. So unfortunately, with all the positives, there's still some perception which is that, this is not the place for growth. This is not the place where you want to make your career. And that may not hold true in reality. So there is one perception correction that constantly needs to be done. And second is, while we have big companies, few big companies having presence, I think more needs to be done in terms of creating opportunities for smaller companies to come into play. Like Bangalore, Hyderabad, you have so much of entrepreneurship happening, so much of entrepreneurship happening. Those things will be very important.
Sumit, sorry, go ahead.
Can I? Yeah. I think this is a very big point, which is where Calcutta is a little slower than others. When I go to Bangalore, when I go to Hyderabad, or when I go to Bombay, any other location, primary locations, what you would see is, if I'm working in a particular organization, if I want to grow, there is a parallel secondary and a tertiary level of organization which can take up more jobs. Calcutta is still holding on to a handful of companies. Not many companies have entered Calcutta, which is stopping people to stay within Calcutta. They have to go out for looking out for more locations. Another big thing which I see is that Calcutta attracts only people from eastern side of India.
Yes.
Whereas any other city, a Bangalore or a Mumbai or a Hyderabad, you will find people from every other location. That is probably a little bit of more work needs to be done over there.
And Suresh, just continuing with that, I would have thought that's an advantage because you've got the full Northeastern, capable, talented, intelligent, certainly on the BPO side, that workforce to be employed. Do you think that is becoming a challenge to be able to train them and bring them into IT centers in Calcutta?
I don't think so. First of all, while it is true that most people are from the region, big companies like us, and of course ZBack and so on, it's a transferable workforce. So we do have enough cross-section of people from all states of India, right, present in our offices in Calcutta. So that is there. But I think the key point, touching upon what they both said, is one has to continuously harp on some of the positive messages. You take it from a power perspective, or from a transportation or public transportation abundance perspective, or the roads. These are things that have to be driven and continuously messaged, saying that there's the least peak demand deficit from a power perspective here, abundant power supply.
Absolutely.
Keep on harping on it, and I'm sure others will hear, and growth will happen. Because of time.
And Kamal, you're doing a great job to have put together this format, to have put together this forum, to be able to bring in, speakers from outside Calcutta, to be able to give back to the audience to say is, what is it that is, going for Calcutta? Because it is true, I agree with all the three speakers that it has the potential, it has the talent, it has the capability. Perhaps we are not making enough noise. And forums like these and formats that NASSCOM is putting together in Calcutta will be able to bring in the visibility that is required.
Anuj, if I may add over there, if I go to Bangalore and if I am there in any of the bar or city, if anybody speaks in Bangla over there are 20 heads which turn. So which shows there is so much talent which is moved out of the city. There is something more which needs to be done in the city to bring them back over there. And if I meet any senior Calcuttan, I've seen everybody planning to come back to Calcutta as a final location. So I won't say it's a retirement location, but it's a mindset. People don't want to move out of it. At the same time, at a young age, they want to run away from it.
Yeah.
They're running away for greener pastures probably outside.
And I had spoken with BG. I mean, he is a significant occupier in Calcutta as Cognizant, and he mentioned it to me. He said is when people are very young, they are in Calcutta. And when they want to retire, they're in Calcutta. Our trouble is, as Cognizant, we look at the workforce which is in the middle. Because yes, you need the youngsters, and then you need more experienced who are 50 plus. But the trouble is that how do you get in the guys who are in the late 20s to late 40s, the 20 years? And that's where perhaps people are moving BG away because there's more social fabric in cities like outside Calcutta. And would you think that is one of the reasons?
So actually, Anuj, there are two things. One is that guys who are working in company like TCS or they have a very stable atmosphere. Okay, so they get the opportunities within the organization also for growth. But there is significant amount of workforce which is outside. Right? For them, the opportunities become limited. So that is a challenge I was talking about. That needs to be addressed. A lot more medium-sized companies coming into Calcutta, a lot more opportunities in terms of entrepreneurship, mental health.
Good one. Suresh, I'm going to come to you, but let me first start with Alok. Alok, runs a portfolio of properties across India, which is called as Brookfield. They're a very large Canadian fund, and they have a significant presence in Calcutta, having bought the entire Unitech commercial portfolio. Given that you have hundreds of crores of money invested in this, I have three questions, Alok, and I'll start with the first one. The first one being, would you further invest money in Calcutta?
So, Anuj, so investing is not an issue. So if you want to invest more, we can invest in Calcutta. That's absolutely not an issue. But I will just give you a small background. We have a large portfolio in Calcutta, which is the best SEZ in our portfolio. But it goes at a lowest rental, and it has a maximum vacancy. And we have talked to so many IT companies, and what happens is, if they want to be at one place, that one place is Bangalore. If they want to be at two places, one is Bangalore, one is NCR. If they want to be at three places, one is Bangalore, one is NCR, third is either Hyderabad or Pune actually. So in Calcutta, most companies which are present in all 7, 8, 9 cities, they want to be in Calcutta. So we are trying our best to get companies to Calcutta because we feel there's a talent pool, the real estate cost is minimum, and I think that will ease off some pressure from the NCR, Bangalore kind of a market. But right now we have vacant space, we have land, happy to invest more, but of course we have to see companies want to take the space. Happy to invest more, definitely.
So, Alok, that leads into the second question, is that what are the two changes? If you had the power to make two changes, what are those two changes that you would want to make sure that IT fast tracks in Calcutta?
So, Anuj, I mean, yes, we have been thinking about it for last 1 year, and as my perception goes, I think that two fundamental changes are required. One thing is a perception problem has to change. There's a perception problem. People don't want to be in Calcutta. Calcutta is a last port of call. Once they are present in 6 cities, they still need to go to a 7th city, they will go to a Calcutta. Now, how this has to be done? This has to be done by all stakeholders, whether it's government, developers, IT companies. So that has to be corrected. Second thing is, I still feel Calcutta does not have a critical mass, or it does not have a tipping point which Bangalore has, or NCR has, or even now Pune has. Once you have that tipping point in terms of IT presence, in terms of IT companies, in terms of IT real estate space, then government intervention is not required. Then things move on their own. So I think all stakeholders have to join their hands, bring that tipping scale or tipping point in Calcutta, and that would, kind of make a lot of difference. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and my last point to you, Alok, is that given that there is low attrition, low salaries, and you mentioned that the real estate cost is lower with perhaps better quality of product, still the IT companies are not willing to come in. So is it just not having a catalyst, not having that critical mass, or is it also to do with the policy changes in that are being provided by the government?
So I think this question can be best answered by IT companies. But but what we hear from IT companies is lack of manpower, lack of wide spectrum of manpower. Only maybe a couple of kind of manpower is available. That is one. Second thing is, but because of the, for whatever reasons, the efficiency is not there. They say, in Calcutta, if the manpower cost is low, but the efficiency is also low. That's
So
what
the productivity of the people is
low. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the second
Suresh, I'm going to come to you on this.
That's the second issue, and this may not be true, but this is what we hear actually. Maybe people don't want to go, that's why they decide these.
No, and there must be some truth, because you're saying is that you've got availability,
Yes.
and elsewhere across your parks, there is no availability, and still you've got people
Yes.
queuing for it. So there is something which is not
And half the
stacking
real
up.
estate cost, at half the real estate cost, companies are not willing to shift to Calcutta. So that's second. And third thing is, I think people have some perception that government policies can change. They are not very favorable. What will happen after 2 years? So I think that uncertainty kind of leads to the fact that let's avoid Calcutta right now.
Suresh and BJ, I'm going to come to all on those 3 points, and then Sumit, I've got a different point for you. Okay, go ahead.
What you said, is of course, understandable, but I thought it's completely different in our case. We are present in Tech as well, have a big presence, but on the same, we have a super complex that we have constructed recently, which is over 40 acres and 2.25 million square feet. And with the provision to construct within the same campus another million square feet of space. So yeah, we don't face some of the problems that you are saying. We are able to move around people from across the country and put them integrated across teams, so that there's a very competitive environment, and therefore each one tends to perform. And the fact that people are highly creative and innovative, we just have to channelize them, give them a more difficult problem to solve, and we found people responding to it. So.
I agree. A little bit different BG question to you is that we agree what Suresh is saying is, but the challenge remains. So what would you advise someone like Alok? What is it that needs to be done to make sure that the space that is available gets attraction from the IT occupiers?
So I'll actually answer that along with what Suresh said. For big companies, there is no differential wage of Calcutta and outside Calcutta.
It's the same.
So I don't think that perception that Calcutta is low cost and Hyderabad is or Bombay is high cost, that is completely true. So for all big companies where we are all transferable employees, what I get paid in Gurgaon, I'll get paid the same amount of money if I'm in Calcutta. Second is, for big companies who have actually grown, have attained a critical mass in Calcutta, it's very easy for us to maintain our growth, opportunities, everything. The thing that is happening is that a lot of growth is also stifled by SEZ policies. Big companies, all big IT majors want their business to be in SEZ because that gives us an advantage, and more new SEZs coming up is also hampering growth for a large company. Given an opportunity, I would build an SEZ where I get the land. If it is in Bangalore, I do it in Bangalore. If it is Calcutta, I do it in Calcutta. So that is also a very important point, which is also affecting a lot of companies' growth. And this is where a lot of work from the government side is required, help from the government side is required. That is like companies like Alok. Alok has created a brilliant infrastructure. That's coming in as closely associated with them. They have into properties that they have taken. Unfortunately, they can only play a limited role because in the business,
Correct.
Real estate plays a role, important role, but not so important as to drive the business somewhere. Between the choice of doing business in Calcutta or outside Calcutta is not driven by real estate. It's driven by a lot of many perceptions, right? Real estate may be one of them. So, Alok is doing his best, but there is only so much limitation he has on that.
Sumit, do you want to add? And one other thing that I do want to ask you, Sumit, I've been told by the organizers that we're going to run quickly out of time, is that you've got presence as Genpact in multiple cities. Are you happy with the change of pace and growth in Calcutta?
So I just want to add another perspective, the whole story. TCS as a Tata Group has been in Calcutta for years and years. Tell me how many other companies have their senior-most leadership in Calcutta? When I talk about local guys also, they move out and they don't come back at a senior position. So if you don't have senior leadership sitting in this city, how do you attract talent? If the senior-most leaders are sitting in Delhi, sitting in Mumbai, sitting in Bangalore, sitting in Hyderabad, they're going to be biased over those locations. I don't see many organizations having that, and that's his problem. That's his problem. I mean, what is he attracting? I mean, as a senior leadership, I don't see senior leadership presence in this city. I think that's a fundamental, difference why this city is not going. The infrastructure-wise, I think it's beautiful. It's doing fantastic. He's made a lovely campus, but I see another problem with his campus. Or not just his campus, but every campus which I see. You have mushrooming small shops right outside the boundary, creating a security. If I wear a security hat, I see that as an issue. I won't see that in any other city. But if I get a senior leader from anywhere outside the country and I take him around, he's going to look at it and he's going to look at it with a risk hat over there. So there are still some...
That's a very real-time problem that he's talking about.
So cities
Security. Sorry, BG, you said security is a big problem.
See, a lot of these shops, small-time shops which are outside the gates now, they become from a lot of global security issues for IT.
No, and we're not talking individual. I'm saying just at a city level. Is there a security problem at a city level?
I don't think so.
No, there isn't.
I don't think that perception of security issue is there.
Got it.
I mean, we have far challenging security issues in NCR, right?
I've been told that we have to, unfortunately, wind up. Suresh, last word from your side, given the success that TCS has had, and three pain points that we've identified very quickly, one being perception in that is, what would you say would be the three things that NASSCOM should take away to change the perception? Because there is an issue. Whilst we agree, whatever there is, the momentum and the growth that we've seen on the IT side, but equally, there is some pain that we are seeing in terms of the momentum, absorption, jobs being created, and if we say the biggest problem is the perception, what are the 2-3 messages that you would want to give to NASSCOM to improve that perception?
I think continue giving positive messages, continue giving positive messages, continue giving positive messages.
Very good. Very well summarized. Do we have time for questions or not really? No, sorry. So thank you very much. It was a quick, rapid round of questions, and I appreciate your time and attention.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that very interesting session and very stimulating session. Request Mr. Kamal Agarwal to kindly present a memento of appreciation to all our speakers.